Hey, how you doing tonight, folks? In this video, I wanted to continue my review of the plot leak, and in this video, I'm going to go over episode 2. So I'm going to read the entire episode, and then I'll break down each section of it and talk about what I believe and what I don't believe, and the type of things that should happen or I don't see will be likely at all to happen. So let's begin. In episode 2, the plot leak states, Jon gets a raven from Daenerys, telling all the Northern Lords to meet her on Dragonstone to parley. Jon and Davos decide to go ask for some of the dragonglass stockpiled on Dragonstone. Sansa is left in charge of Winterfell, and Jon leaves Ghost behind too. Dorne and Highgarden get sacked by the Lannisters early in the season. Jaime confronts Olenna Tyrell at Highgarden. She tells Jaime everything about how she and Littlefinger poisoned Joffrey. Jaime allows her to drink poison and kill herself before being captured. Euron's fleet destroys Yara Greyjoy's and takes her prisoner. Theon escapes by jumping overboard and is rescued by other Ironborn. Euron Greyjoy attacks Dorne as well, killing 2 sand snakes and capturing Ellaria. Okay, so let's start with the first part of this. It says, Jon gets a raven from Daenerys, telling all the Northern Lords to meet her on Dragonstone to parley. Jon and Davos decide to go to ask for some of the dragonglass stockpiled on Dragonstone. Okay, now this seems pretty likely. We definitely know Jon and Daenerys were going to meet up at some point in the show. And with all the photos that have been leaked as they're filming Season 7, we already see that that's definitely going to take place next season. So that definitely makes sense that Jon and Dany meet up with each other and discuss and strategize about how Dany's going to get this Iron Throne and what Jon's role is going to be in that. Is he going to stand by her and help her, or is he going to oppose her? But another thing that I thought of before this leak even came out, as soon as I thought that Dany could be on Dragonstone, I immediately thought, well, if she does ask Jon to come there, he definitely needs to see about all the dragonglass that's there. Because we know Stannis already said that there is plenty there to be mined. Basically, as much as you could get out of there is there. So it seems like there could be an unlimited amount of dragonglass at Dragonstone. So if Jon has an opportunity to go there, he might as well try and get some while he's there. So that definitely makes sense that he would want to do so, because he definitely knows he needs it. Because he lost all the dragonglass that he had back at Hardhome. When he tried to go back into the little shed there, rescue it, that's when the White Walker came in and attacked him, and he didn't have a chance to get it. He basically had to leave it behind, or he would have died trying to save it. So the first part of that makes a lot of sense, and there's already a bunch of photos that have came out to back that up. Nothing about the dragonglass yet, but we can assume while Jon's there, he's definitely going to want to get some. And it says Sansa is left in charge of Winterfell and leaves Ghost behind too. Now, just by the photos that have came out, that seems to be true so far, because we haven't seen Sansa in any of the photos with Jon and Davos at Dragonstone. So it doesn't appear like she left Winterfell at all. And we know that they really don't use the direwolves in too many episodes. So that's a way for them to leave Ghost out of the equation and not have to explain why he's not in every single episode. It would make sense for Jon to leave Ghost behind with Sansa to give her some extra protection while he's not there to look over her. So that kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone. It gives Sansa the protection that she needs while Jon's gone, and all the scenes that they're going to be showing Jon with Daenerys, they're not going to have to explain why Ghost isn't there. It'll just be known that he's back in Winterfell with Sansa. So I could see why they would do that. And it also says Dorne and Highgarden get sacked by the Lannisters early in the season. Jaime confronts Olenna Tyrell at Highgarden. She tells Jaime everything about how she and Littlefinger poisoned Joffrey. Jaime allows her to drink poison and kill herself before being captured. Okay, we definitely know by the photos and all the reports that the Lannisters definitely sack Highgarden next year. There's plenty of photos to kind of back that up. There's a new castle that they've already been showing that already has the Lannister flag planted at the top. So if this is not Casterly Rock, then it is indeed Highgarden, and the Lannisters definitely won that battle. And there was also a new report that came out today that I haven't had a chance to talk about yet, but I'm going to talk about right now, is that the Tarleys actually are not going to be fighting with the Tyrells next year. They're actually going to turn their back on the Tyrells and fight with the Lannisters. And I haven't noticed it in any of the photos that I have, but it said in a report that there was a photo that showed the Tarleys marching side by side with the Lannisters. So I haven't seen that photo yet to confirm it, but that's pretty damn interesting. So that just makes the Lannisters' forces that much larger, and they'd have another great commander on their side with Randall Tarley. So that could definitely change the entire dynamic of what's going to happen in that battle when the Lannisters do go up against Daenerys and all her forces. So that's pretty interesting. So keep an eye out for that. If the Tarleys turn their back on the Tyrells, that could really, really spice shit up next year. But it says the Lannisters also sacked Dorne, which I don't think that's likely. I really don't have a lot of information to support why I believe that, but we already know the Lannisters are involved in 2 big battles next season. When they take over Highgarden, and as they're marching back, they get attacked by Dany and the Dothraki and the Unsullied. So I don't know if they'd have the Lannisters in 3 battles next year, especially with none of those battles being against, Jon Snow and company. I don't really see the Lannisters going to Dorne and attacking Dorne as well. But I could be wrong. They could be trying to just completely eradicate the whole Dorne storyline because they know they completely screwed that part of the story up, and they know fans have been outraged about how they made those characters look on the screen compared to how they are in the books. So this could be the opportunity that they want to take to just completely get rid of that storyline. So I guess I could see them wanting to do that, which would also explain what else it says is going to happen in this episode when Euron attacks Dorne and he kills 2 of the Sand Snakes. That could be them just trying to wipe that whole part of the story out. Which, personally, I hope they do. I didn't like Dorne at all, so to see that part of the story gone just makes me happy. I do not want to waste any more time with scenes with the Sand Snakes or Alaria. So the faster they wipe that part of the story out, the happier I will be. I know some of you probably disagree, but this is just how I feel. Now, another thing that I didn't really like is how it says Olenna Tyrell drinks poison to kill herself. I could kind of see her doing that, but she's been such a great figure in the show, and she's been so tough. I just don't see her going out like that by committing suicide. I definitely could see why she'd want to tell Jaime she helped poison Joffrey just to kind of stick that knife in his side, because Jaime's sister murdered her 2 grandkids. So I could see why she'd want to let the Lannisters know, okay, you guys might have hurt me there, but guess what? I killed Joffrey, so fuck you. So I could see her wanting them to know that she's the one that did that. But I don't see her wanting to kill herself to go out like that. I think she'd go out in a lot tougher way than that. But I could be wrong as well, you know what I mean? Who knows how she dies? I don't know. I wouldn't want to see her go out by suicide. I'd like to see her go out, in a much more honorable way, basically. So give me your thoughts on that. But it says Euron's fleet destroys Yara Greyjoys, takes her prisoner. Theon escapes by jumping overboard and is rescued by other Ironborn. Okay, we knew at some point Euron was definitely going to go toe-to-toe with his niece and nephew. The last time we saw him, he said he wanted to murder both of them for taking off with his ships when he became king. So we knew at some point they were going to face off. And there's already been reports that have came out a long time ago before the plot leak that Euron in fact does attack Yara and Theon, and he does capture Yara and kill 1 sand snake. But now in the leak it's saying he kills 2 sand snakes. So that could be interesting to see how that actually plays out as well. And there's photos already that have been released as well that shows Theon getting his ass beat by some Ironborn. So I can only think of 1 or 2 reasons why Ironborn would be beating him up. And the first reason is because he allowed Yara to get captured. He didn't try hard enough to save her. Or 2, those could be Euron's men. And they're beating the shit out of him before they take him to Euron. So this all really starts to make sense when you see the photos. So that's episode 2. Tell me what you guys think about that episode. How much of it do you believe to be true? Or does all of it sound like bullshit to you? Let me know. There's already been a lot of photos that have came out after this leak that is backing up a lot of this stuff. It may not go down exactly the way this leak is saying it, but it's going to be pretty damn close, I think. So far, the leak seems to be pretty legit. So comment below and tell me how you guys feel about this. Does episode 2 seem true to you, or is it just completely fan fiction? Thanks for listening, guys, And I don't know if I'm going to do a video tomorrow or not, with tomorrow being Thanksgiving. It depends how my day goes, how busy I am. But maybe later tomorrow night, I may do episode 3, so just keep your eyes peeled for that. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Down each section of it and talk about what I believe and what I don't believe, and the type of things that should happen or I don't see will be likely at all to happen. So let's begin. In episode 2, the plot leaks. Hey, how you doing tonight, folks? In this video, I wanted to continue my review of the plot leak, and in this video, I'm going to go over episode 2. So I'm going to read the entire episode, and then I'll break down. He allows her to drink poison and kill herself before being captured. Euron's fleet destroys Yara Greyjoys and takes her prisoner. Theon escapes by jumping overboard and is rescued by other Ironborn. States, Jon gets a raven from Daenerys, telling all the Northern Lords to meet her on Dragonstone to parley. Jon and Davos decide to go ask for some of the dragonglass stockpiled on Dragonstone. Sansa is left in charge of Winterfell, and Jon leaves Ghost behind too. Dorne and Highgarden get sacked by the Lannisters early in the season. Jaime confronts Olenna Tyrell at Highgarden. She tells Jaime everything about how she and Littlefinger poisoned Joffrey. Jaime